the upper right. First time we see Washed Up represented in the DreamHack America. In the red, it's Ark. No barking though, no support. Little disappointed, Soul Glider.
Hey, I'm waiting for the intros, but I'm definitely barking, man.
Nice, that's what I want to hear. In the bottom left for Canada and Ocean is gaming, it's KiWiKaKi.
And how do you guys support Kiwi up there? What do you guys say?
Something in French, but I'm from the west coast of Canada, so you know we need Bidu to speak French for us. But you know, probably eat some fries with cheese curds and gravy, whatever that is.
Okay, whatever sound that makes. But we're seeing a keeper, so I like this. I think it's the good choice. It's the right choice. This feels like a very good keeper map. Looks like he wants to be super aggressive right off the bat here, and he's already got the hunters all going down.
Yeah, this is very interesting. We actually saw him try to detonate the lightning shield with the Scout Wisp, but he missed it. Maybe could have just gone for these two Spirit Wolves that are creeping the green camp. So a little bit of a misplay from Ark to start things off, but he's got another Wisp coming in, and the Keeper, with I assume it'll be an Entangle harassed here, might be able to do some work. He might be able to force a down portal if he goes for it. Actually gets the last hit and the detonate. That's pretty nice from Ark.
Okay. Yeah, this is a really nice start with Ark. I mean, keeping the Farseer off of level 2 is kind of the key here. And he's also keeping him very hurt. So can have to speed scroll away and healing salve. Or this keeper's just going to be on top of him the whole time. It might even be a forced TP. Do you think he TPs or do you think he just loses it? Because there's still 2 entangles left.
Yeah, I think if he did speed scroll, he'd get immediately entangled, so he's going to wait for the one entangle, then speed scroll salve right after. But this is a really interesting opener from Ark. This is pretty smart. He definitely prepared this specifically for Kiwi's style, and we see him, he's going into 1 Ancient War Huntresses off of this as well. Probably going to tech behind it, but it's going to be a lot of pressure. There's 2 more Wisps coming. This is the 3rd and the 4th Wisp, and there's the detonate. He's actually got a Wisp here to detonate the speed scroll, so Kiwi's forced into a town portal, and that's a really nice heads-up play from Ark.
Oh, that was brilliant. Bringing the wisps for the potential speed scroll was next level. I love that. It's interesting that this is prepared just for the KiWiKaKi style, but the opening was like super standard from Kiwi. I think he's going into Headhunters a little bit later. I think it's just an opening on AZ. It's kind of like if Human, you know, goes fast Mountain King to try to like catch the Farseer creeping kind of feeling.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, especially if you know it's going to be a Farseer with that Lightning Shield creep. You take a lot of damage on your Farseer because of the Lightning Shield. And then you can just sort of pressure when this is entangled first. And now the peons are exposed as well if Kiwi goes too far away from his base. But he did get the level 2, has the Chain Lightning, and has the Wolves to pressure off this Farseer, or the Keeper of the Grove. And there's not too many Huntresses here at the moment. Yeah,
he's already getting Ultra Vision. More Huntresses coming in, but I don't think he's going to commit super hard to the Huntresses. I think it's just like this few Huntresses in the beginning to take map control, to put a lot of pressure, so Kiwi can't creep for free, and then probably switch into archers.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. He's actually getting a 2nd Ancient War, so maybe the Archer's transition is coming through already. Kiwi's nicely keeping the grunts in the base. He's got 1 Headhunter there as well, so gonna force all the entangles out, make the Keeper have to go back to heal, and then probably bring out his units to creep. But for now, this has been a lot of Wisps committed for Ark, and he's pretty much only forced a Town Portal and gotten a little bit of experience. So maybe advantage KiWiKaKi at the moment, but at least the level 3 Farseer has been slowed down.
I agree with you. I feel like this is actually not too bad for Kiwi with how much Ark has invested into this, and then it's going to be hard for this Keeper to ever get to level 3. And I feel like that mid game potential is kind of stunted when you overcommit on the early aggression, because you have to get a lot done. You have to kill something, maybe kill a grunt, kill a Farseer, you know, get level 2 off of creep steals, or it doesn't end up being that worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's no Ancient War in position to Ancient War creep in the future for Ark. He did get a Staff of Teleportation, so potential for some harassment. We see him staff into the left side now. He's going to catch that Farseer out, but really not going to find him creeping or catch him with his pants down at all. But the Farseer is still forced to go back, and it's still slowing down the level 3. And now there's 3 Huntresses on the field, and a 4th one on the way out. There's some Wolves in the main base trying to deal with Wisps, but probably not going to get much done. And here's the Alchemist, and now Ark is probably going to creep aggressively. There is entangles in the tank, so this Farseer has to be careful still.
Yeah, I like this. He went into 4 Huntresses. He's going to continue making... He is continuing making Huntresses, so it is kind of a mass Huntress style to try to aggressively creep Kiwi's side of the map and not let him be able to creep up the Shadowhunter. I'm guessing that was the goal of this play, and I do like the Staff of Teleportation. I thought that was really smart because the left side of the map is where Kiwi would have been going. We got an early engagement and a fast hex on this Huntress. Will this first Huntress go down?
Yeah, a Headhunter for a Huntress, but 2 Headhunters for a Huntress is definitely worth it. But another Hex is going to go down. That's going to be a second Huntress kill potentially. Yeah, definitely. And there's still 1 more Hex and 2 more Entangles for the Keeper of the Grove. So this is going to be a lot of units trade. There's the 3rd Huntress getting Hexed. There's the 3rd Headhunter getting Entangled. And they're just trading every unit here. 1 more Grunt potentially going to go down. There's 1 more Entangle, and the Grunt's getting really, really low. Still more Acid Bombs. And maybe Arc ends up favored in this exchange. 1 Shaman is out, and there is a Purge now. But there's the last Entangle and the last Purge.
Oh, he actually gets in front of the Shaman. He's going to be able to block and kill it. This is a really big play. And then right afterwards, he might be able to get this other Headhunter as well. If he does, I think this overall just favored Arc. But this is just an absolute brawl. They're just trading units. And, I mean, both of them are like 30-something pop, 2-1 to 2-2. So Arc might be slightly ahead.
Yeah, they just traded every single unit pretty much. There's 2 Headhunters. They do produce very quickly. 1 Grunt left, and then I think 1 Huntress is left, but there's a second one that was just reproduced. The Keeper staffed out, coming back with almost full mana and full health right now. And KiWiKaKi forced into his base a little bit, still has his shop to be able to creep up that Farseer to level 3 and that Shadowhunter to level 2. But right now, Arc is going to do some creeping on his own, try to get that Keeper level 3 for that level 2 Entangle, I would imagine, or maybe level 2 Treants. We'll have to see. But yeah, both players just going to go a little bit more passive after that.
He's
fight.
bringing his Wisps down to the middle. I wonder if he has some kind of push plan here. He's upgrading Moonglaves right now. He's getting 1 attack on the Huntresses. It looks like he's going for some kind of all-in push here.
Slowly but surely, though, KiWiKaKi is getting the counter to the Keeper and the counter to the Huntresses with these Shamans and the Headhunters. And if there's APs coming up, they're not going to be very easy to get up with the piercing damage, able to cancel them. There's 1 Entangle coming down, but there's Serpent Wards again to deal with these Huntresses, and this army does not look like it can win the fight for Arc.
No, it doesn't. There's too many ranged units, and he's back in the base. There's already upgraded burrow defenses. And if this Shadowhunter gets to level 3, this kind of push is pretty much completely shut down. So he's got a little bit of a window here. But if he keeps trading Huntresses for units and the army sizes dwindle down, the Shadowhunter gets to level 3. And I think this unit comp starts to really, really fall off.
Yeah, Arc tried to build a Tree of Life at the Goblin Laboratory and had to immediately cancel it, but he's now rebuilding it and going to be able to walk through those trees in the future. So maybe this push we're talking about, just trying to buy a little bit of time for that expansion. But the question is, what army do you get after this? You just got Huntresses right now if you're in Arc shoes, and KiWiKaKi's only getting stronger and stronger with more Shaman mana.
Yeah, I think that's the problem with this strategy. If you don't do enough damage, if you're not able to do some kind of push, expanding behind it, this expansion is just so late. Like, KiWiKaKi is already at 45 food, and he's almost on 3-3. And I don't know if Arc can engage here, but he's going to go for it. He's trying to detonate those Wisps, but only 1 Wisp detonates. The other one gets Hexed. What a beautiful play. Now he's focusing down the Huntresses, and there's no more mana left on KiWiKaKi's heroes, but these Huntresses are going to go down really quick, and I don't know, man.
Oh, the Alchemist is going to get purged. There's no Town Portal, no staff, but it goes down. There is 1 more Entangle, but there's another Purge to counter that. Nice Wisp detonated. Didn't actually get focused down after that nice Hex from KiWiKaKi. A couple of Headhunters going down, and this is going to buy enough time for the expansion, but has Arc lost too much? If he commits in these 3 Huntresses and loses all of them, I don't know if he's going to have much of an army left at all.
Oh, he's blocked in the base. He can't get out. I think he's just sacrificing all the Huntresses. He's trying to get whatever kills he can, but it feels like he kind of lost the fight after the Alchemist, and then diving in like this was like a last-ditch effort.
Oh, now the Keeper's super low, and this is going to be all the Moon Juice. TP's out with 9 health, but look at the Moon Juice back at home. How do you heal up? The Alchemist level 2, but he's going to come back with not too much mana to use that heal spray. And there was a lot of kills by Arc, but it really wasn't enough, sacrificing that Alchemist, sacrificing all those Huntresses, and all the health on the Keeper.
No, that's definitely not the situation you want to be in if you're Arc. You don't really want to trade off all of your units like this, and then it's just like small army versus, you know, medium-sized army. And then once you go home, the Shadowhunter gets to creep, gets to finish getting level 3, and then turn around and push you. And then you're trying to expand behind this, but it's not really going to be possible. You're not going to have enough units.
Can he even like creep the expansion with a keeper this low? I mean, he's gonna have tree ends soon. He's gonna be close to level 4, so that will be the level 2 entangle. But the shamans are getting more and more mana. The heroes are getting higher and higher, like you say, for KiWiKaKi. The alchemist is finally back, and it's actually almost level 3. But yeah, Ark's got to get this expansion up unscouted and safely, and then maybe he has a chance to come back in this game.
I think the only way that happens is if KiWiKaKi plays passive, but I think once you get Shadowhunter level 3, you play a little bit more aggressive. Yeah. He is starting to tack to tier 3, so maybe what KiWiKaKi thinks is, hey, look, I'm just going to keep creeping, not worry about it, and get the Berserker upgrade, and then I'll play aggressive. But he is already scouting with the Wolf. He's seeing if there is an expansion. He doesn't see it yet because it's still eating through the trees, which is actually quite common. So I wonder if the Wolf will see this before it dies. He knows he's going to start creeping it, so he might be expecting an expansion.
Yeah, maybe going to be able to assume, but I don't think the Wolf quite caught the tree. But is he just going to run straight up? Yeah, and he will be here on time. He even has a speed scroll. No town portal for Kiwi, though. No town portal for either player, actually. So this could get dicey if there is some sort of a hero-focused situation. And the big potion of invulnerability for both players now is going to keep that from happening. But here's the creep jack for Kiwi.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a little bit tough for Ark. He's got a couple of heal sprays. He's got a lot of mana on the Keeper, but there's also a lot of mana on the Shadowhunter and the Farseer. And this positioning right here, it's really hard for the Huntresses to get into the back and get a lot of damage done on these Headhunters because there's a little bit of a choke here.
Tree ends immediately dispelled. The Wisps are coming in. All the Huntresses are starting to fall, though, and the Alchemist is out of mana. The Keeper almost level 4 and has a decent amount of mana, but what can you do against these Shamans? Level 4 Farseer. So many snakes on the ground, and a couple of Shamans are falling. There's a level 4 Keeper of the Grove, but the expansion's finally planted, and it did deal with the rest of the creep. So if Ark could somehow find his way out of this fight, but it doesn't look like it. He just got 2 heroes forced into that big potion of invulnerability, and where are the units?
The micro was just too strong from Kiwi. Every single time a unit was hurt, he'd back it up individually and then keep focus firing. The micro was really on point. All the Huntresses died with almost no losses on KiWiKaKi's side.
Some mana, like the Shaman's plenty of purges. The Shadowhunter pretty much out of mana, so is the Farseer, but not really what you need. You just need these purges to deal with the entangles, and then there's no reason to really lose anything, like you said KiWiKaKi was just doing. There's some archers, and he's getting the increased range, but is 4 archers enough to deal with this 45 supply, almost tier 3 Orc army?
No, I don't think so. I think we're going to see Ark tap out pretty quickly here. You know, as this army gets larger, it just gets stronger because of all the focus fire potential. You pass a threshold and suddenly Huntresses are dying faster than they can walk in. And that's kind of what happened there. Once you got around 45 food, you get like 3 shamans. You got a lot of snakes. It's hard to get in on the units and they just start backing up and kiting you. Yeah, I don't know. I think KiWiKaKi's got his number today.
Yeah, Berserker coming up at home from that barracks. Tauren Totem just getting up now, and that will probably be 1 Tauren to round out this 50 supply army. The expansion is exposed and under half HP. And there's only 2 Wisps to repair. They're going to detonate, and Ark is going to try to defend, but this is the last-ditch effort. If he can't defend here, the game will probably be over.
It's good that he's going into archers. That's definitely what he should have been doing, I think, a little bit before. If you were going so hard into Huntresses, you had to have a better idea of pressure and some kind of all-in. But KiWiKaKi backing up, and I think it's smart. You're out of mana. You have Bloodlust coming. You have Berserk coming. You have Tauren coming. Why not just wait? You don't have to push. He doesn't have any Wisps really mining. He just has 4 now, a 5th coming. He doesn't have any units. You're ahead in heroes. Just buy items, get mana, wait for your upgrades, and then push again.
Yeah, I think that's really smart, especially the mana on the Shadowhunter, having more Serpent Wards, having more heals especially. And yeah, with that Bloodlust coming, the Shamans are going to have infinite purges to deal with this Keeper of the Grove. Ark's going to get a little bit of time to creep, and this might be Alchemist level 4, but here comes Kiwi with a few peons, and this could be towers, this could be a shop, and the Expo is still under half HP.
Yeah, this push is scary. KiWiKaKi is marching across the map, looking to cut down these trees, and Berserkers are already 2-1. There's Bloodlust. I don't know how Ark can possibly hold this.
There's 11 archers, and that's a decent amount of DPS, but he's still down by 8 supply, and there's a Tauren marching in. Here it is with Bloodlust, rah, and the towers are coming up as well, so Arc has to defend right now, but he's going to be exposed. We're talking about the Tauren getting surface area, nice and tangled to stop that, but the archers are slowly falling as Arc tries to kite. Can that Tauren get into position? This is a nice little concave for Arc, and a Grunt goes down. That's Alchemist level 4, but look at the Bloodlust, look at the Tauren, look at the heroes.
I mean, this is the best kiting that we could have seen from Arc. It was really beautifully done, but he really needed 10 more pop. He needed marksmanship upgrade. He needed better hero levels, and he needed to not let Kiwi safely get to tier 3, get Bloodlust, and get Tauren. I think that was, you know, even though there's only an 8 pop difference, the tech difference is huge.
Absolutely, yeah. And the heroes definitely scale better for KiWiKaKi because of those shamans.
Yeah. Serpent wards are a little bit hard to target down. With archers, they're a little bit easier. But the serpent wards and the healing is just so key to these fights.
The shop is going to be focused down. Scroll protection. The illusions have been swiftly dealt with by KiWiKaKi. Bloodlust in the back. The Tauren being micro back. The serpent wards are being focused down by those archers, like you pointed out, but there's just not enough of them. Still, he's trying to pump. He's producing off the expansion, but only with 2 wisps at the moment. He was forced to detonate the rest of them earlier. Okay, the Farseer taking a little bit of damage, but he does have a big invulnerability potion and a scroll of healing, and the Shadowhunter's heal. So, yeah, this is looking like close to the end for Arc.
Maybe you can get a cheeky kill on a Farseer if KiWiKaKi's not paying attention, but everything's kind of dying here, and these wolves are looking scary. Whenever they get bloodlusted, I always get pretty scared.
It's terrifying, right? Oh, the Keeper almost getting surrounded, forced to staff out, but now the Alchemist is exposed. There is Purge, but there's a potion of lesser invulnerability, but the Hex, perfectly timed for KiWiKaKi, and that goes down with the second hero, and the GG's called, and that's 1-0 for KiWiKaKi.
Whew, if that's not an opening to a series, I don't know what is. Bloodlusted tier 3 orc army. The Horde was suffering a lot in the past 2 days, and now KiWiKaKi is here to the rescue, taking this 1-0. I gotta say, I was super impressed with Arc's game plan in the very early match. So many wisps, especially the first one, but Kiwi's reaction, super crazy. Like the whisk play into the lab, and Kiwi sidestep just enough to not get the lightning shield dispelled. He took some damage, so it was good by Arc, and then he followed it up with even more wisps. I think he lost the series because he didn't pull wisps, so he definitely learned that lesson. And we all know the patch is coming in 18 days, so get some value off of these wisps as long as you can. We're getting some value off of advertisements, and see you for map number 2 in just 3 minutes. All right, guys, we're back with map number 2 here. In the break, Carson or Sogla, one of you guys said Ark took everything that makes Amazonia good for the keeper and didn't use it. What happened there? What was up?
Okay, I'll defend myself a little bit. There may be an argument against what I'm saying, but generally the reason why it's a good Night Elf map is you can get the Keeper of the Grove level 3 very early. You creep the lab with the lightning shield, the little green next to it, that opens up a position for your Tree of Life, which is very safe for building it. You go to the middle, you pull the kobolds, you creep those, and then you creep the little green. Very fast, hardly harassable for the Orc level 3 creep route for the Keeper of the Grove. It's a very small map, so once you have level 3 Keeper, pre-Shamans, you have level 2 Entangle, you can pressure the Orc from creeping, and your expansion's getting up very safely behind it the whole time. And Ark didn't really do that. His expansion wasn't safe. He didn't creep too much early, and he tried to pressure, but he didn't really get too much done.
All right.
Yeah, I'd like to back that up. It's always the plan. It's the same plan against human. It's before there's enough to spell, you have to get the value out of the Keeper of the Grove. You have to get enough value. And the real value of Keeper comes at level 3. So I think this level 1 harass is the opposite of what typically you want to do. And then the Huntresses just fall off so fast. But I think the strength of Night Elf right now is that late game archers, getting that expansion up, putting a lot of pressure and getting ahead in hero levels. So
yeah, that was a pretty good explanation. I know why I have you guys on the broadcast. I'm just here doing the production, and I say we load in to map number 2. That's Concealed Hill. All right, guys. Will we finally get a 3-mapper here? Please, I'm craving for Warcraft games. In the upper right, in yellow, with the lead, looking for another match versus Hitman. It's KiWiKaKi. And his opponent from Washed Up, definitely not washed up with his strategies today, because I see something very interesting. It's Ark.
Bark for Ark, guys. Whoop, whoop.
All right, boys, take it away.
All right, so question about this Ancient War, the expansion. So Ark knows that KiWiKaKi's probably going to do a level 1 Farseer pressure. This camp is very hard to creep, much harder than the standard orange camp outside your base. Maybe it won't be scouted right away, but it seems like kind of a sketchy camp to go for first. But if Ark gets away with it, I guess it's a very strong opener.
Yeah, I think it's hard to scout for the Orc. You typically aren't going to come do it, so I think this has been practiced ahead of time. I also agree this is very hard to do, but if he pulls it off, I think we're going to see a lot more of it on ladder. A lot more players are going to be like, oh, interesting, there's this other creep route. But Kiwi sees it now, he knows what's up, but is it too late? Has the damage been done? He's almost level 2 keeper already. This is kind of crazy.
Yeah, the big boy's still up for grabs, and the little Null. And there's a couple more Treants being summoned, but like you say, no Entangle yet, and the Wisps are the first target for KiWiKaKi. Gotta deal with those, and you can summon those Spirit Wolves and start to do a bit more harass, but if there does want to be an expansion here for Ark, he can't build it yet, unless he wants to build it by the green camp, but still at risk of being cancelled, so far pretty good for Kiwi. A nice response to a creep route he didn't seem to be too prepared for.
You think it's good for Kiwi right now? I think it's not bad for Ark, actually. It's a greedy creep route, but as long as he continues to push the Farseer back, eventually he's going to finish off the Null Overseer, get level 2, opened up the expansion much earlier than Kiwi's going to be ready for normally. And that leaves, other creep camps next to his base, and very fast level 3, I think we would see after that. But Ark is kind of pushing the Farseer a little bit too far, rather than just using like 2 of these Treants to push him back, and then 2 Treants to keep dealing damage to the Null Overseer. So I think he's microing this a little poorly. So, we'll see what happens after this, but now it's starting to turn a little bit more into Kiwi's favor.
Yeah, I think you're right that if he was able to push away that Farseer more easily, and then just because the Purge creeps, the Wardens are gone already, he could just summon Treants and finish off this Null Overseer with those guys. But now the expansion is being planted a little bit away, but because, he did a bunch of damage to that Farseer, he might have to go to the Fountain, he might not be able to cancel this expansion, and now there's level 2, and with that comes the Entangle.
Okay, so both heroes are a little bit low, but now that their Entangle is here, like you said, Farseer is going to have to back off. And, you know, these wolves can't do very much once there's, you know, 3 to 4 archers out. So he's going to be able to creep this freely. This Tree of Life is going to come up without contention. So this is pretty cool from Arc.
Okay, so KiWiKaKi going a Shadow Hunter dual bestiary as a response to this. Is this Raiders? Is this Wyverns? Is it Kodos? With Kiwi, you never really know, but I would assume it would be Raiders, right?
It's got to be Raiders.
Yeah.
Like, it's got to be Raiders. Because it's archers, it's got to be Raiders, but I wonder if Arc scouts this, if he starts trying to figure out how to count. Like, what do you do to counter this as the Night Elf player? Do you start to go into hunts at all, or do you just keep making archers, and is that just fine against Raiders?
Yeah, I think the units, whichever he decides to go with, are fine. I think really he needs to prioritize trying to get the level 3 for the level 2 Entangle, because he knows there'll be no Shamans if he does scout the dual bestiary. But right now, the Farseer actually might be forced to do a Town Portal, but nicely blocking with the Wolf, but even nicer from Arc. But there is a Dust of Appearance. Is there another Entangle? 2 mana off, another Entangle. The block from the Archer. Oh, Arc, baby, bark away. That was beautiful.
Arc. Guys, you guys are watching this right now. Arc is coming out of his shell. He's been reborn a little bit here. This game, the first game, maybe there were some nerves, maybe there were some dry lips, but the second game, he's playing beautifully. That was awesome. You know what? I think Arc's archer blocks have always been really good on ladder, but it seems in tournaments they don't tend to come out. But this time, that was beautiful.
Yeah, he's 5 experience off the level 3, and once he scouts these Raiders, which I don't believe he has, he does have a Wisp near the base. Perhaps he did send it in a little bit earlier. Gonna be able to go level 2 Entangle. He's got his Alchemist, he's got that Acid Bomb for creeping, and the expansion is marching its way over, and there's not enough Raiders to really pressure the expansion going up yet.
Yeah, this is kind of weird for the Keeper to be marching across when he hasn't got level 3 yet. What does he plan on killing to get level 3? I'm not quite sure. Because the big power spike is at Entangle level 2. So what do you think the plan is here with this?
He could maybe pull the Alchemist away once he kills one of these creeps. I think that'd be the best bet for him, but nicely playing it safe because there's Raiders, there's Hex, so... You know, if he did get caught out, he probably would be forced into a Town Portal.
I don't think he scouted it, actually. I think that's why he was marching across the map. Because if you knew it was Raiders, you definitely wouldn't want to march across the map. You want to keep your units tight. You want to keep everything together. So when the Raiders come in, there's maximum DPS on any any unit that's trying to charge in.
Okay, here comes KiWiKaKi. He does have 1, 2, 3 Raiders and a 4th on the way with Ensnare locked and loaded. Only a level 1 Farseer, level 2 Shadow Hunter, and there is a Huntress and a decent amount of archers here. The Illusion's going to be dealt with. The speed scroll in for KiWiKaKi, good ensnares and decent surface area on the grunts, but he's attacking the creeps. Okay, going to get a second archer now, and this is a nice fight for KiWiKaKi.
Yeah, this is looking really nice for KiWiKaKi. He's directly focusing the archers. Once all the archers go down, it's going to be really hard to hold from Arc. However, Raiders are not that good fighters, so heroes are pretty good against Raiders. He's entangling them 1 by 1, but these grunts are not bad. There's a lot of mana.
One Raider, almost 1 grunt. Nice heal wave, and is there enough mana? There's another entangle. That's going to be 2 Raiders, but so far I think that was 4 or 5 archers, and the Huntresses are slowly falling. But there is an expansion up and mining for Arc now, so if he can somehow hold on in this fight and not lose everything and trade decently, he'll be all right. But it looks like all the Huntresses are going to go down. There's almost 1 more entangle, but not quite yet.
The trades were a little too good for KiWiKaKi. Unfortunately, I don't think Arc was quite ready. Possibly when the speed scroll came in, if he could have TP'd, but I guess he thought that he could take that fight. But this army was pretty big from KiWiKaKi, and it was a little bit smaller for Arc at the moment. He had just started switching into Huntresses to deal with this, but he didn't have enough there, and he was a little bit out of position fighting the creeps, so that worked definitely against him. And now I'd say he's pretty far behind. It's going to be a tough hold.
There is more mana. Here comes in Wisps to deal with those wolves. There's the Kodo Beast to help those Raiders do a little bit more damage because he's already weak Huntresses. 1 entangle is going to equal 1 kill for now, but there's a Huntresses to equal it out and an eat on the Kodo Beast. A lot of the Wisps are going down nice and snares. The Alchemist is taking a lot of damage. There's a heal spray, but there's no staff and there's no Town Portal on that guy. And that's a level 2 hero that's about to fall.
Oh, I think it was a big mistake to try to focus the Kodo. The Kodo's fat, he's beasty, he's got a lot of HP, and then he blocked himself in. And then the Alchemist going down, and these Raiders are just going to pick off all the Huntresses, and I don't know what Arc can do. It started off really well, but just 1 engagement, and then from there it's just snowballed against him.
Yeah, I think you're right about that town portal once Kiwi speed scrolled in at the shop. And do you town portal to your expansion, though, is the issue. Because if you town portal to your main base, the Raiders just hit your Expo immediately. But I think either way, it would have ended up better for Arc. But he's still entangling. He's still getting pickoffs. There's still more Huntresses streaming in. So maybe if you can get that Alchemist back. And there's a couple of low Raiders. It is daytime, so the Fountain cannot help these guys out right now. Level 3 Farseer,
He's about
level
to
3
buy the Alchemist
Shadowhunter.
back, by the way. Oh, wait, he didn't buy it back. He built something instead, but he had a Wisp at the tavern. I thought for sure he was going to just buy it back, but I guess he's like, hey, I'm going to wait for the revive. Ah, can he hold? I think you're right with the streaming in units. If he can kill something one by one, maybe he just TPs back to his main, he gets some mana. I don't think there's enough Raiders to kill this quick enough. Maybe there are, though.
Yeah, this is looking kind of difficult to hold. There's one Moonwell that's going to equal one Entangle, but the Wisps are trying to repair. They're being focused down nicely by Kiwi, but there's only one Raider here, so that's only one Ensnare. But is the Tree of Life going to fall? The Huntresses are coming back. There's another Entangle that can be used to secure the kill on that Raider, but all the Wisps are detonated. All the Wisps are gone, and the Raiders being micro back, and the Tree of Life is going to fall.
Oh, no. That's not what you wanted to see. 3-3 against 3-2, but you're kind of on Huntresses now, although he is on Raiders, so this kind of goes back into a one-base versus one-base game, but KiWiKaKi on 46 supply. He's got Arc on 35 supply.
It is kind of interesting. Both their armies suck. So, okay, Arc's building a Moonwell at the top. I guess he lost all of his Wisps. So that's why he's doing that, right? Yeah, he's got no Wisps. Does he need to get a Shredder? His lumber's decent right now, but I mean, you got to eventually build some buildings. Does he want something other than Huntresses? And Kiwi, I imagine, will transition into something other than Raiders. He's getting that Kodo Beast he lost earlier back, getting some more mana on his heroes, and going straight back down, it looks like. But Arc's just going to creep, and this could be Alchemist level 3, and maybe with that, better fighting shape for Arc.
So I think the problem here with KiWiKaKi's army is it doesn't creep very well. The grunts are good, but the Raiders not so much. Maybe he can pull like the middle camp out and creep. I think running across the map, he's trying to end it. Arc's pop is hurting a little bit. He's not using his money. He's not macroing. He's at 750 gold. I think that's a big mistake. But yeah, maybe he's not. He's just trying to not give him any time. Counter expansion could have been another possible play. Here's the engagement. This time, Arc's using his Alchemist Heal Spray. In the previous engagement, he didn't use the Alchemist Heal Spray at all, and I think that was also a very big mistake.
He's got a big mana pot, too. There's a decent amount of Raiders if Kiwi micros it perfectly to stop that heal spray, but not quite doing it right now. But it is nighttime. There's a shop coming up in the back. There's Wisp being pulled, and there's decent mana on the Keeper of the Grove and the Alchemist with that big mana pot I pointed out. And this is looking like a decent fight for Arc, actually. The Raiders are falling. The Kodo has eaten, but an Entangle could solve that in the future. The Wolves are being summoned. Another Huntress coming from that Ancient War, the expansion, but the Entangles is slowly picking apart Kiwi's army.
The heal spray is also just incredible. There's not a lot of DPS here. From this army, I don't think there's even Serpent Wards, right? Like, we're not seeing any it's Hex Heal. So because of that, he can't deal with these Huntresses well enough. So this heal spray ends up just dominating.
This is a bark and a half. The Kodo's going down. The Huntress is going to come back. There's still almost one heal spray. There's another Entangle. Is he going for the Shadow Hunter?
Going for the throat?
Oh,
Shadow
there is
Hunter,
a shop
block him. Block him, Arc. No, he gave up. Oh, come on, Alchemist. All right, Alchemist is getting low. There's 2 more Raiders coming in. But it looks like KiWiKaKi's micro is also slipping a little bit. He's not going for the final Alchemist kill. Is he? Wait, he's going for it.
No heal spray, and there's another Ensnare. There was a shop up in the main that Arc could have maybe got a health potion or a staff at to save it, but maybe the Shadow Hunter. Oh, a
what
little
was
bit
that
too
pathing?
fast. Maybe gonna slip away. Oh,
Can he
might
catch them? These Huntresses are fast.
Okay, 61 mana on the Keeper. If he keeps chasing, maybe eventually he'll have an Entangle. Gonna pick off 2 more Raiders. Is KiWiKaKi running the wrong direction? He doesn't have a town portal. He has no way of getting out. There's 75 mana, Soul. There's 75.
Oh, there he goes.
The Entangle.
Wait. There was
the
enough
block.
for 1 heal. He's not fully surrounded, and there's a counter.
The Keeper.
Oh my God, did Arc just throw this against the Raiders? Oh, he levels up, but he dies.
Oh, the Farseer might be surrounded now. Oh my God, he almost locks it in. KiWiKaKi's so good at these counter surrounds, but look at how many Huntresses there are. Can you maybe get a Tavern Revive on one of these heroes? The Alchemist is halfway.
He's trying to go for another surround here, but he's starting to take a lot of damage on these Huntresses. There's so many Huntresses here. He needs to Tavern Revive. Okay, he's hiding. Good. Wait for the Tavern Revive.
Because you need to get out. You need a town portal out if you're Arc here. Because you're going to have no mana when you Tavern Revive. I think that's what you're going to say earlier. Okay, here comes a level 5 Keeper of the Grove. He's trying to fight. Can he deal with the Raiders and get out of this fight?
He's going to lose a couple of units, but I think this was still his best bet. But now Shamans are here. This is a freaking crazy game, by the way. Oh, no, but the Raiders are catching up.
Oh, no.
Does the Keeper go down again? There's 3 Raiders.
It's
going to be hard to get out.
You can almost get to the town portal. There's another ensnare. There's always an ensnare. One of the Raiders that has one is going to go down, but now there's a purge. There's always a solution for KiWiKaKi. It's so close, and it goes down. And that's a level 5 hero dying twice.
Oh, my God. That was a nice attempted play for the Keeper to get out, but you can't run from Raiders. You just can't. Orc is the best at chasing down, running armies. If you don't have a town portal, very often it's lights out. And these wolves are big, they're bad, they're hunting.
I think Ark forgot, or he canceled his Alchemist. I checked it right before the Keeper died after the Alchemist, and he was about halfway reviving it, and now I check again, and he's just over halfway again. So I think he might have canceled it to try to rebuild, or Tavern Revive it maybe, but... Now the level 3 wolves, scouting everything, seeing everything. The Raiders are going to start attacking the Moonwells that are already dry. And can Ark hold again against all odds? He did it earlier.
I mean, when you have enough Huntresses, it's really easy for the Orc to make a mistake and try to fight against this, because Huntresses are really good against this Orc army. Just in general, OC is going to be happy about that. He's, you can just mass hunts and always be in a decent position. Especially because there's the Shadow Hunter, he probably needs to retrain. I wonder if that's what he's going to do right now.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great bet. He knows there's just Huntresses. He knows that Ark is committed. He can't get, lures up for bears or anything like that. He can't get mountain giants. It's really just going to be Huntresses, maybe some archers in the future if the game goes that long. But right now, Kiwi's just going to creep the red spot, and this Shadow Hunter can still benefit, can still get up to level 5, and he's going to get a nice item here.
Yeah, I think that retrain was the right move, and it's gonna be hard now for Ark, because with the Serpent Wards, there's enough DPS to deal with the Huntresses. I think this is what KiWiKaKi should have done before. He kind of let Ark back in the game by running across the map and trying to engage against mass hunts when he didn't have the right army comp. His heroes were on the wrong spells. If he had just tried to creep, switched into Shamans, retrained his Shadow Hunter, I think it would have been a lot more stable of a game. Instead, he was like, I feel like I'm in pressure. I have to go in the game now. Ran across the map. And he's like, oh, wait, I'm met with 8 Huntresses.
Yeah, no Dispel at that time. He does have Shamans now, and did have them when Ark went for the throat by where he was creeping right now. But yeah, with the Entangle, if you really overcommit, you can start to lose a lot before you know it. And Keeper's almost out, and this is a level 5 Keeper. But how much value does a level 5 Keeper get against this many Shamans now?
Not very much, honestly. I think a level 5 Alchemist is not too bad. That heal spray becomes really, really sick. It's hard to kill anything. And you can kind of micro against Serpent Wards a little bit. There's only 1 Raider, but with the 3 Shamans, you can potentially back up or engage when he doesn't have a lot of Serpent Wards down. Yeah, maybe you get a Shadow Hunter kill. I don't know, but what can Ark do right now? What's his game plan? Is it just to continue creeping and try to get level 5 heroes? Is it try to, take one really good engagement?
Yeah, there's Keepers out. He could take the Fountain. It would take a while. He'd have to creep the Dragon with just his 2 heroes and have the Hunters deal with everything else. Right now, KiWiKaKi is getting his 2nd red spot of the game. The last red spot did not give him the best item. Gave him the War Drums, 1 for the shop. But now we could get another Aura potentially. Probably Lionhorn would be the best. And Ark is going to pull the Fountain, so he's going to try to get that level 5, like you said. And with that level 3 heal spray, that could be a nice solution to Kiwi's army.
He got the Belt to Giant Strength, not what he wanted to see. It's going to be a little bit harder to kill the Shadow Hunter now, but not the best item. 5/5 heroes, no expansions from either player. We're getting pretty close to being mined out, so I think this is going to be a mined out game.
I think that's what Kiwi's scouting for right now. And obviously the Night Elf player does have the advantage once the base is mined out. But with the Raiders, you can really threaten the main base if the Tree of Ages walks over for Arc. We see the Wolves already threatening a couple of Moonwall kills in the main right now. Arc forced to repair, but can he repair against it? Here comes the Raiders. Here comes the army. Arc did get the fountain and did get the Flute of Accuracy.
He got the Flute of Accuracy.
Jesus.
Maybe that's exactly what he needed in order to possibly bring this back. This army is so scary from Kiwi, and what happens when you let the Orc attack in a position for too long is there's a lot of Serpent Wards. There's already 3 Serpent Wards down, and this is kind of a little choke here. It's hard to get in. It's hard to get a lot of damage on the back line. It's hard to stop the Serpent Wards from just massively DPSing you down. So, but Kiwi's Shadowhunter is completely out of mana now.
Yeah, that's every ward. There's a lot of snakes on the ground, though. I think Arc needs to back off a little bit, maybe behind that Ancient of Wars. So many Huntresses are falling. The heal is trying, but it's just not enough, I don't think.
They got cut through like butter. Yeah. That was like butter. They were just dying and getting spread on these Raiders' bread for the morning breakfast.
Okay, the wards are getting dealt with. The Shadowhunter is like you said, so Kiwi's gonna back off. He's been really smart with, except for that one fight when he let Arc kind of back into the game, he's been really smart with when he backs off, when he waits to get mana with his heroes, waits to get heal scrolls. He's gonna staff back to his main base to get some clarity potions, and now Arc again down to barely any army.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's tough. It's a tough spot.
I don't know what to say because I don't think Arc can come back at this point. I mean, that was already a hard fight to potentially take, especially when Kiwi got set up with all the wards in the base before he came in, and then the positioning was just so bad. You're only attacking grunts, really, with your units, and all the units from KiWiKaKi are attacking maximum surface area and DPS, so... I mean, this game is already over. At least he knows there's no expansion, but Arc's trying to hold on to the last moment. But there's nothing you can do against the Horde when they get this strong.
Get this. How about? Okay, the gold mines run out. He pulls every wisp off the gold mine, right? Detonates them perfectly on every shaman, every hero. Then he dives the Shadowhunter, kills it. He swaps to TP. The Shadowhunter dies last second before he can TP. Swaps to the Farseer, gets a double hero kill. All the shamans out of mana. Hides in his base, picks the army apart. How about that?
I think even without the heroes, this army kills him.
Yeah, probably.
I'm pretty sure.
There's bloodlust.
There's bloodlust.
Yeah.
These are 2/2 grunts.
Yeah. Here comes the wisps. The gold mines are out, so what you see is what you get, unless it's an expansion for Kiwi. All right, Arc, what do you got, man? Alchemist taking a lot of damage. The Entangle on a Raider, but an immediate purge. It's a health potion used, but another one was on cooldown. GG is called, and that's a 2-0 for the KiWiKaKi.
Well, I guess I don't have what it takes to be a prophet.